Imagine a world where summer never ends. A world where wildfires burn for months, devouring forests and creeping toward homes. A world where cities vanish beneath rising oceans, where streets that once bustled with life now lie silent underwater. A world where heat waves become so intense they melt roads like butter, twist train tracks, and send power grids crashing. This isn't the plot of a dystopian movie. This isn't a preview of some distant nightmare future. This is the reality we are stepping into, and we are moving toward it faster than most people can imagine. The warning signs are all around us. Glaciers, thousands of years old, collapsing in eerie silence. Deserts creeping into farmland, swallowing crops inch by inch. Storms hitting with a force our ancestors could never have imagined. And yet, for too many people, it still feels abstract, like just the weather. But this isn't just weather. This is climate change. And it's not coming. It's already here. Many believe climate change is something future generations will have to worry about, something far away in both time and space. But the truth is, the future knocked on our door decades ago, and we ignored it. In 2019, Australia endured what became known as the Black Summer. For months, wildfires raged out of control. Over 46 million acres of land burned, more than the entire size of England. Thousands of homes were destroyed. 3 billion animals were killed or displaced. Skies turned blood orange. People wore masks, not for a virus, but because the air itself had become toxic to breathe. In 2022, Pakistan faced catastrophic floods that submerged a third of the entire country. Whole towns disappeared. Roads and bridges collapsed. Millions were forced from their homes, carrying what little they could save. Crops were wiped out, creating a food crisis that rippled through the economy. In the Arctic, scientists are racing against time to study ice that's been frozen for tens of thousands of years. Ice that holds records of Earth's ancient climate. Ice that is melting faster than ever before in recorded history. Everywhere we look, the planet is sending warnings, stronger, louder, and more desperate. And yet, these are not random acts of nature. They are all connected by invisible threads, threads woven by the forces that control our planet's climate. To understand climate change, we have to begin with something simple: the greenhouse effect. Think of Earth as a giant greenhouse. The sun sends energy to our planet in the form of light and heat. Some of that heat radiates back into space, but a portion is trapped by a layer of gases in our atmosphere. Gases like carbon dioxide, CO2, methane, CH4, and nitrous oxide, N2O. This natural heat-trapping layer is essential for life. Without it, Earth's average temperature would be about -18 degrees Celsius, 0 degrees Fahrenheit, far too cold for most life to survive. The greenhouse effect keeps the planet warm enough for oceans to remain liquid, for plants to grow, and for ecosystems to thrive. But over the last 200 years, human activity has been thickening this blanket. The Industrial Revolution kicked it off. We began burning coal, then oil, then natural gas on a massive scale. We cut down vast forests that once absorbed CO2, replacing them with concrete and farmland. We built a global economy that thrives on mass production, high consumption, and rapid disposal. As a result, CO2 levels have risen from 280 parts per million in pre-industrial times to over 420 parts per million today, the highest in at least 800,000 years. Methane levels have more than doubled. Nitrous oxide is at record highs. When more heat gets trapped, Earth's systems begin to shift. Ice sheets melt. Oceans expand. Weather patterns change. Rain falls where it never used to, and stops falling where it's needed most. Scientists describe this as a feedback loop. For example, warmer air melts Arctic ice. Less ice means less sunlight is reflected away. Darker ocean water absorbs more heat. Temperatures rise even faster, and more ice melts. It's a self-reinforcing cycle, like a snowball rolling downhill and growing larger. Other feedback loops are equally alarming. Melting permafrost releases methane, a greenhouse gas far more potent than CO2, into the atmosphere, accelerating warming even further. So what does this mean for us? For human life? For wildlife? For the only planet we have? It means storms are becoming more destructive. Warmer ocean waters act as fuel for hurricanes and typhoons. Hurricane Katrina in 2005, Hurricane Maria in 2017, Typhoon Haiyan in 2013, all were supercharged by higher sea surface temperatures, making them more intense and more deadly. It means seasons are shifting. Farmers who once knew exactly when to plant and harvest are now guessing. In parts of Africa, years of drought have turned fertile farmland into cracked wastelands. Families abandon their homes in search of water and food, becoming climate refugees within their own countries. It means ecosystems are collapsing. Coral reefs, which support 25% of all marine species, are dying in mass bleaching events as oceans warm and acidify. If warming continues, we could lose all warm water corals by the end of the century, erasing entire underwater cities of life. It means rising seas are swallowing coastlines. Cities like Miami, Jakarta, and Venice are already battling tidal flooding on sunny days. Low-lying island nations like the Maldives face the threat of complete submersion within decades. And it means our health is at stake. Extreme heat now kills more people every year than hurricanes, floods, and tornadoes combined. Hotter climates allow disease-carrying mosquitoes to invade new territories, spreading illnesses like dengue and malaria into regions that have never faced them before. This isn't just about polar bears or glaciers. This is about whether human civilization, as we know it, can survive the changes we are unleashing. If we continue on our current path, scientists warn we could cross critical tipping points, thresholds beyond which the damage is irreversible. By 2050, rising seas could displace more than 200 million people, forcing mass migrations that will strain governments and ignite conflicts over land and resources. By 2100, some parts of the world could experience deadly heat for months at a time, making them uninhabitable for humans. The collapse of one ecosystem could trigger a chain reaction. Lose the Amazon rainforest, and you lose one of the planet's largest carbon sinks. That accelerates warming, which disrupts rainfall patterns, which kills crops, which drives famine, which fuels political instability. It's like a glass window cracking. At first, the cracks spread slowly. But once the structure gives way, the break is instant, and there's no repairing it. But here's what we need to remember. This is not a hopeless story. We still have a choice. Renewable energy, solar, wind, hydro, and geothermal, is now cheaper than fossil fuels in many parts of the world. Countries are setting ambitious targets to phase out coal and gasoline-powered vehicles. Cities are rethinking their design, adding green spaces to reduce heat, improving public transportation, and building infrastructure that can withstand extreme weather. Communities are restoring forests, wetlands, and mangroves, natural defenses that absorb carbon and protect against storms. Every action matters. Choosing clean energy, reducing waste, eating in ways that lower our environmental footprint, supporting leaders and policies that put the planet first. These are not just good ideas, they are survival strategies. The science of climate change is clear. We caused this crisis, and we have the tools to slow it down. The longer we wait, the harder it will be. But acting now could mean the difference between a livable planet and an unrecognizable one. When the history of this century is written, what story will it tell? Will it be the story of a planet that gave up, or of a generation that fought back and saved it? The clock is ticking, and the world is watching. If this message resonated with you, don't let it fade. Share it. Talk about it. Take action in your home, your community, and your daily choices. The science has spoken. Now the rest is up to us.